Hello, everybody. Good evening. How are you all? I'm hoping that everybody is doing well. Okay, so we are at the very fag end of Tinkerpreneur, and I hope all the students, mentors, thinkers are enjoying this journey. We are left with two more sessions, and I guess the enthusiasm is all into the submission of the assignments and learning new skills, etc., etc. Yeah. So for today, we again welcome Mr. Kiran and his three young tinkerpreneurs, and we are here for yet another exciting session. So without further ado, it's been already 5:05. So Kiran sir, over to you to take it up further in this exciting session. Yeah.
Thank you, Shubham. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. And good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be back again. I'm Kiran Kumar, Regional Mentor of Change associated with ATL Innovation Mission. This is our seventh and final Handhold Me session during the ongoing Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp. And I hope all of you are enjoying the bootcamp so far, and you're all completing your activities and assignments as well. Um, so this week's topic is all about pitching and ethical leadership. And today in our session, we are going to talk about pitching as well. So I'll be spending the first 15 minutes or so giving you an introduction about pitching and how to plan for the pitching, what is pitching, and all those kind of things. And then our three student entrepreneurs, Meghana, Lavanya, and Yuvathi, will be giving you concrete examples on our related to pitching. So before I introduce them, I would like them to say hi to all our audience. So Meghana, Lavanya, and Yuvathi, can you say hi to our audience? The same order. Okay, thank you. Um, so basically, Meghana is a class 7 student of Harvest International School in Bangalore, Karnataka, and she's going to show you an example of how to create an investor pitch deck today. Okay, and Lavanya is a class 7 student of Indus Valley Public School in Noida, and she's going to show you how to create and leverage a sales lead database, which is a tool which can be used by salespeople or by entrepreneurs to improve their selling and even the pitching efficiency, how they can do things better. And Yuvathi is a class 10 student of Canal Valley Public School in Haryana, and today she's going to show you how to put together a sales pitch deck. So while an investor pitch deck is targeted at investors whom you're going to approach to raise funds or investment for your business, sales pitch deck is more targeted at customers in order to sell your products to them. Okay, so all the three entrepreneurs will be showing you really good concrete examples. But before we go to our Tinkerpreneurs, I'm going to take the first few minutes and I'm going to run you through a few slides about pitching and what is it and things like that. I'll set the context and then I'll hand over the session to the Tinkerpreneur. And if you have time, we will also have a few Q&A questions with them so that they can share their experiences as well. Okay. So now let me share my screen and let's get started with the session. Just give me a moment. Okay, it's saying connecting. Okay, I hope I should be able to share it now. Okay, can you see my slide deck coming up?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, fantastic. Okay, so the topic for today's session is plan your pitch. Okay, so pitch may be a new term for many of you. Of course, I'm going to talk about it. But before we talk about pitch or pitching and things like that, there are multiple terms that we're going to use today, some new terms for you to understand. Before that, let's step back a little and see how far you have come in this boot camp. Okay, so basically, if you look at the long journey that you have come in this boot camp, you have actually built your digital product in week 3 and 4, right? And you in week 3 you built it, and you in week 4 you refined it, and maybe you're continuing to refine your digital product all this week. And then in week 5 you were taught how to create a business model. A business model allows you to create a roadmap on how you're going to commercialize, or how you're going to start your business, and how are you going to sell, market, sell, and other things. How are you going to commercialize your product base? That's what you learned as part of week 5. And in week 6, I think you learned about digital marketing. How are you going to promote your product to prospective customers? How things like that, using various digital marketing techniques, whether it is using flyers or posters or marketing campaign games and things like that. So you learned many things as part of week 6. And last week, I think we introduced you to how to launch your online business as well. As part of that, we even showed you a couple of demos on creating an online store. So you've come a long way, and you have all the pieces or building blocks that are needed to start your business, right? So you have basically pretty much, you can say, you have started your own online part-time venture or a business of your own. This is really fantastic, because if you come along all this way, then you have accomplished a lot of things. You have achieved a lot of things. So I would like to congratulate all the students who have come this far, who have completed all the activities that were given to them during all this week, and those who have set up their online businesses, right? So now, if you have set up your business, a couple of things you need to start thinking about as next step. How are you going to run your business? So the most important thing to run a business is you need money, right? So money is the most important thing. You need money to run your business, and you need to make money in the business. And of course, between these two, you have to build a product or a service, and then ultimately, to build your product or service, you need money, and to sell your product, and when you sell them, you actually make money. So one thing is, you need somebody called investors who will actually give you some money. Maybe if you have money to run your business, you can pretty much invest yourself. Right now, many of you may say that, sir, I don't need any money. I have built my product. I can sell it. That's fine. Fantastic. But as you start growing your business, you definitely need money to run your operations, business operations. So you need somebody called investors. That investor could be yourself. Let's say you have money yourself, or it could be your family or friends, your parents, who could give you some money to start and run your business. Or it could be your relatives, or it could be somebody called high net worth individuals. We also call them as HNIs, or they could be venture capital firms. There are different organizations who have money, and they look for investing in some promising businesses. And if you go and approach them, and they might actually put some money into your business. And of course, they give you funds. Fund is basically nothing but money. Investment, funding, money, all of them mean the same. Okay. And in return, you need to give them some returns. Maybe you have to give some percentage of your profits, or you have to give them some dividends, or they will have some exit strategy in which they sell their shares in your business, and they make some lump sum money, and they exit your business a few years from now. So there are different ways in which you need to engage with the investors. That is, so you get money to run your business. Basically, why do you need money? Basically, if you need to build your product, you may need money. For example, if you're building a digital product, you may have to buy software licenses and tools, or you may have to spend money on marketing and advertising, or you may have to spend some money on content creation. Maybe you're going to hire a freelancer or somebody to create the content for you, or you're going to spend on some administrative expenses, some maybe some rent, telephone charges, internet charges. You have a lot of expenses, purchases, and all of those to take care of on a day-to-day basis. So you need money to run your business. So it's very important that you have money to run your business. And the second part is, you also have to, once you have money, you actually start building your products and services. You market them, you sell them to your customers, and customers could be your existing customers, or they could be new customers. So very often we try to retain our existing customers, or customers who have already bought from us, so that it becomes much more easier to sell to them again, because the trust is already built and they have experienced your product earlier. And if you're offering a new product to them, they might very well buy your product than go to your competitor. So it's important that you retain your existing customers, while of course it's also important to gain or acquire new customers. So both are important. And when you sell your products and services to them, you earn revenue. That means the money that they pay you in return is a revenue. That we talked about revenue in, I think, week number 7 or so in during business finance, right? So pretty much as a business, you're going to, on one side, you're going to take money from investors, and then you're going to build products and services, you're going to sell them, and you're going to make money. So pretty much what I would like to say is, it takes money to make more money. Okay, so if you are going to run a business, it takes money and you make money, and that maybe part of that money you reinvest in your business, and then that makes more money for you. So the cycle progresses like this. Now let's talk about the first part, the raising the funds, the investment that we talked about, right? We talked about in the previous slide two things. One is about funding, and another is about revenue from customers. So let's talk about the funding part. Now, if you are going to raise funds, maybe when you're just starting off a new business, you can start with something called as a seed funding. A seed funding is a small amount of fund. You can see here, it's like all these are shown as jars, a series of funds, a series of rounds of funding that you can get from other people or from investors. So initially, when you're just starting off your business, you get something called as a seed funding. That seed funding may be a few lakhs of rupees, or it could even be a few thousands of rupees. Why not? Few thousands or few lakhs of rupees. And then you take that money and you put it in your business, and you start building your product, start selling it, and you start growing. And when you start growing, you need more money. So you again probably take another round of funding from investors. Maybe that is called Series A funding. And then later on, maybe 1 or 2 years down the line, you take another round of funding from investors. That is called Series B and Series C, and it goes on like this. Okay, so over a period of a few years, you can potentially get funding from investors who will fund your business, provided your business is promising. They will not put money into any business and every business. So that is why I'm going to talk about the importance of pitch or pitching in today's session. Okay, so this is just to set the context. So one is, you need money, so you can, there are people or there are organizations who are willing to put money, and they start with seed funding, Series A, Series B, Series C, and a round of funding. Okay, this is how you can acquire funds to run your business or to grow your business. The second thing is, you need to sell your product and services to customers. So we need to, let's say that you have a business and you have a product to sell, but there is a series of steps involved in actually selling it. So you need to be really aware of it, so that you understand why pitching is important in selling as well. Now, when you have a business and you have your product ready to sell, first thing you do is you market your product, you promote your product to your target audience. Your target audience could be anybody, basically the users of your product. You start marketing to them. And once you start marketing to them, it raises awareness about your product or service in the market among those users. And a few of those people among your target audience will start showing interest. And once they start showing interest, they may come in contact with your business. They may start responding to your marketing campaign or marketing activities, and they may start interacting with you. So those people who are coming in contact with your business, they're called as sales leads. Okay, because among the large target audience, a few people will show interest. So it makes better sense for you to go after those sales leads rather than go after everybody. Maybe if you are trying to sell it to all schools, don't try to, I mean, if your target audience may be schools, but you cannot sell it to all schools. You start targeting only those schools who show some interest in your product or service. So those schools will become your sales lead. Okay, and among those sales leads, some of them will actually start engaging with you. They'll start probably asking you more questions and things like that. And those people who show greater interest, they become or called as prospects or sales prospects. They are actively considering your product. They probably have a great need and they will want to buy your product. or your service, they are called prospects. Prospects are very close to becoming customers if you engage them little further. And if you give them sufficient information, if you give them some offers or discounts, or you push them a little bit, they become your customers. What do they do to become customers? They have to take action. That means they need to go to your online store, or they need to pay money to you, and they have to buy your product or service. If they take that action, they become your customers. So before a customer becomes a customer, you need to start from your target audience, and out of them you need to shorten the focus to sales leads, and from sales leads you need to go to prospects, and from prospects you ultimately have some customers who are actually buying your product. So you make a sale to your customers, and the customers give you money in return, and it becomes revenue for your business, right? So this is how you generate revenue. So on one hand you take investment from investors, and on the other hand you make money from customers. So this is how a business typically works. Now let's come back to the main topic of this week. Now let's say that there are investors and you want to get some funding for your business, you want to grow your business or whatever. How do you convince those investors to put money on a business? Or how do you convince your prospects to buy your product? This is where pitching comes in. Okay, what is really pitching? Pitching is basically a communication. That is, you as an tinkerpreneur or an entrepreneur, you're going to communicate with some investors saying that, sir, ma'am, this is my business, this is what I do, this is what I offer, and this is the revenue I have, these are the number of customers I have, these are my future plans. Can you please invest in my business? Or you go to a customer and says, this, or ma'am, this is the product I have, and it is going to address your problem, it is going to address your needs, and it has these benefits, and it is going to cost you so much, will you please buy it? So this is how you're going to pitch. Okay, the pitch can happen in different ways, but I'm simplifying it and giving you a simple example of how you might pitch to different people, to investors or to customers. So you pitch to investors, you also pitch to customers. So basically, when you pitch with a specific intention or an intent. So when you pitch to an investor, your intention is to get funding for your company so that they put their money in your business and use that money and you grow. And then, of course, you give them some returns when you become profitable. Okay, you share some of the profit or give them some dividends or whatever. And they also benefit, you also benefit. Similarly, for customers, you pitch with the intention of selling your product. They get your product and you get revenue, right? So in both cases, you pitch. Okay, pitch is nothing but a communication, or it could be a presentation. You could have a PowerPoint deck or a slide deck that you run through them, like how I'm doing it to you. I'm also sort of in a way pitching my thoughts to you with on this online YouTube live session with a PowerPoint slide. So it's a sort of pitching. Okay, now let's understand a few types of pitches. One is called as an elevator pitch, another is called a competition pitch, the third one is called a sales pitch, and the fourth one is called an investor pitch. I'll tell you which one to use when. When you are meeting somebody, let's say new, and he's a businessman or whatever, or customer or investor, and then you want to go and pitch your product or business to them, but neither you have time, or maybe you have time, but the other person doesn't have time, and maybe you have just 1 or 2 minutes to talk to them. That is when you use elevator pitch. Elevator pitch is a very short and very crisp communication in which in just 1 or 2 minutes you're going to communicate to them what your product or business is. And if the other person gets interested, they might give your business their business card and say, okay, please contact me later and we will talk about it later. So that's the intention of an elevator pitch, just to get the other person excited so that it opens more doors for you to make a sale or maybe get some appointment with the other person later on. And competition pitch is basically in any innovation competition or a business idea competition, you want to pitch to jury members or judges. And you have an innovation, let's say you go and showcase that innovation to them. And there are many other people like similarly like you who will go and pitch and they present their innovation. Maybe they showcase a prototype, a demo or something. And then ultimately the jury members will decide who are the best pitches, and maybe you will get some awards, rewards, recognition, or maybe even some funding or granting, whatever, what grants or whatever it may be the competition has. A sales pitch is something that you, as I talked about earlier, is directed at customers or prospective customers. You want to sell your product or services to them, so you make a sales pitch. And investor pitch, as again I mentioned earlier, is directed at people who have money and who are willing to put money in businesses. So you want to go and pitch to them, talk about your business, talk about your products and solutions and services, and many other things. And then if they're interested, they will put money in your business. So you get some money to run your business, grow your business, expand your business, scale your business, many things you can do once you have some money. So each of these types of pitches serve you some purpose. Now let's look at some of the pitches in little more detail. So let's say that you want to pitch to a customer. So, and let's say the product is not so simple. You need to explain the product in little bit detail. If you could explain it in one word or one or two sentences, you could just do an elevator pitch. It's as simple as that. The customer already knows, like a toothpaste, and you're trying to sell a toothpaste. Everybody knows what a toothpaste is. Maybe you don't need a sales pitch deck. But if your product has little more details, it makes sense to create a PowerPoint slide deck which has some information about your business, your company, the problems that you're trying to address, the product or solution that you're offering to customers, and its features and capabilities of your product. What is the value or benefit that it gives to the customers, and what is the price of your product, where to buy, how to buy, and maybe you also answer some of the frequently asked questions from people. So if you put all of these in a slide deck, that's actually a sales pitch deck. That's as simple as that. It's no rocket science. Just put together, maybe create a slide deck with all this. Each slide can cover one aspect, and you put all of them together, and it becomes a sales pitch deck. Then you go and talk to a prospective customer. You run through this slide deck for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes and answer all their questions. If they're happy, they will buy. They may buy your product. That's as simple as. Okay. Now, before you actually go and talk to them, you need to have a list of people whom to talk to. That is where the sales lead we talked about earlier becomes important. So what we can do is we can create something called as a sales lead database. A sales lead database is nothing but a list of all the sales leads or people who have shown interest in our product or services. Maybe they have responded to our marketing communication, they have responded to our marketing campaign, or they have asked some question to us, they have made us phone calls or sent us emails. We have their email address, we have their phone numbers, we have their names. So we can make a list of all these things, and then ultimately we can go and talk to them, and we can pitch to them and try and make a sale. Okay, this is something that Lavanya is going to talk about later on, and Yuvathi is going to talk about the sales pitch deck. Okay, she's going to give you a demo. And the competition pitch deck, as I was mentioning earlier, is mainly used in a innovation or a business idea competition, where you talk about your innovation or your idea, benefits to users, highlights of your, if you have built a prototype, you highlight the prototype. And if you have actually put it to use somewhere, you talk about the pilot deployments and results you've achieved, what are the next steps, your team. And you also ask, I need more support, whatever it may be, incubation, acceleration, whether you want grants, funds, whatever, and the jury members are really convinced about it, they might give you what you ask for. That's the competition pitch deck. This is also a PowerPoint slide deck. And lastly, we have the investor pitch deck. When you actually go and pitch to an investor is not a customer. So you're not going to talk the same things, although some of the things may be similar, but the focus of this pitch is different because you want to ask for money, ask for funding or investment to grow your business. You have to put it in a slightly different way. So to an investor, you need to give a broad overview of your company, and you can talk about the problems that you're addressing, the solution of product that you have built. Most importantly, you need to talk about your team. You need to talk about the market opportunity, because an investor would put money in a business which has more future. And how big I can go and how many customers I can sell this to, how much money I can make. That's what an investor would like to know, because he wants to double his money or triple his money, whatever is his intention. So if he's putting some money, he wants to take more money back after a few years. And you can talk about the customers that you're handling, what is your business model, how are you going to make money, what are your revenue streams, how are you planning to grow, what are your projections, and what are your funding needs. If you talk about all of these, and if the investor is convinced and he has the money, he might actually put money in your business. So this is again can be pitch deck can be a slide deck using PowerPoint or Google Slides, and that's pretty much what you need to do. So pretty much what you can do as part of this bootcamp is also create a pitch deck like this, okay, using Google Slides on Microsoft PowerPoint and submit it by the end of week 9. So that's probably pretty much the activity for you this week. Maybe Shubham can clarify this more towards end of the session. I'm sure they will, ATL Innovation Mission will have a template that you can download from the KidX portal and fill up the template with all the information that is requested and submit it. And at the end of the submission, all the submissions will be evaluated by jury members within ATL Innovation Mission. And last year, the top 100 submissions were selected. And out of the top 100, for example, Yuvathi and Meghana had made it to the top 100 in last year's Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp. And those who made it to the top 100 also got an opportunity to participate in ATL Catalyst program in partnership with Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. And this program gave them further support, further mentoring support, further direction to actually make another pitch in which the top 10 students were selected, and those students actually got a funding of 25,000 rupees. So if you do a serious job, a good job of submitting your pitch deck by the end of this boot camp, maybe if your pitch is good, you might get selected in top 100, or maybe you can new doors will open up, like how it opened for Yuvathi and Meghana earlier. So maybe again I'll ask Shubham to talk about what kind of new opportunities are available this year for students participating in the boot camp. But I'm sure there'll be new opportunities for you. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover today, although I've taken a little more time. Let me unshare my screen. Okay. And now let's go back to our three Tinkerpreneurs. Okay, so first let me invite Meghana. Meghana, as I said, she was one of the top 100 students in last year's Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp, and she had created a product called Swarasati, and she had created investor pitch deck during the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp and subsequently during the ATL Catalyst program as well. So she is going to run you through her investor pitch deck, so you can go through it and see what goes into an investor pitch deck and get some ideas. Over to you, Meghana.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, it's coming up. Okay, we can see it now, Meghana.
Hey guys, I am Meghna, 7th grader from Harvest International School, Bangalore. And I am here to introduce my best friend, Mr. Investor Pitch Deck. Say hi, Mr. Investor Deck. Don't be shy. First, let me quickly introduce my product, Swarasati. Swarasati is your very own Carnatic music buddy, designed and developed to help you learn and practice music anytime, anywhere. Now, why do we need investor pitch decks? To attract and impress investors. But why do we even need investors? Because it takes money to make money. And because not everyone is Fred or George Weasley to have a Triwizard champion invest in their business at the drop of a hat. Now that we know the why part, let's move on to the what. What should an investor pitch deck include? Let's see. First and foremost, the problem slide. The problem slide should convince the investors that there's a demand for your solution and that people will definitely buy your product. The problem I am addressing is availability, accessibility, and affordability of Carnatic music teachers. I am using statistics or infographics to strengthen my case. Percentages are more impactful the numbers over here. Well, would 250 people sound big, or 60% of Carnatic music aspirants? Yeah. So this is all a part of market research. You can use existing analysis or conduct your own survey. This data is from my own research. Since an app on Carnatic music is not common, the numbers weren't readily available. I conducted my own. I surveyed 200 people from age groups between 9 and 65 to understand the depth of the problem. The solution. Now, here, the investors want to hear a David and Goliath story, a gigantic problem, and a simple solution. My solution to the 3A, availability, accessibility, and affordability Carnatic music problemo, is Swarasati. Swarasati is your very own Carnatic music buddy designed to help you learn and practice music anytime, anywhere. The USP, or unique selling point, of the solution is that it helps solve each aspect of the problem. For example, problem says 60% don't have access to teachers. Solution focuses on availability and accessibility. 40% find Carnatic music costly. Focus on cost effective solutions. The previous slide was about identifying the gaps. This is about closing them. The product overview. This slide is all about how your product works. Consider this a high level algorithm, giving them a sneak peek to the product's working. High level features of my product are login, choose the lesson, sing along, and practice. Record your singing of the lesson, compare, and receive feedback. Rinse and repeat. Simple. Prototype screenshots. Now, these are optional, but they make a very good impression on the investors. I linked my demo video and gave them a QR code for convenience. This will trigger them to check it out. Plot the digital skills you have acquired wherever possible. This is the opportunity to show off all you learned in 9 weeks. For example, I spent quite some time on designing the logo. I painted it myself. I wanted to popularize it and make it synonymous with the Swarasati app. More screens. Market overview. How big can the product get? The only reason investors are listening to or reading your pitch deck is because they want you to take their money and make more out of it. Therefore, they are looking for substantial market opportunities. Here we give specific numbers about how big the market is for us to capture. Edu- I researched on the available market for online music education and how it is expected to grow in 7 years. With 18% growth annually, there's a huge potential for online music learning like Swarasati. Business model. Until now, we showed the investor that we're definitely going to make money. But now we're going to show how we're making that money. Value proposition, what the customers are paying for. And then the pricing strategy. I chose freemium. App is free to download with limited features. You need to subscribe to unlock full potential. And the revenue model, which is a bird's eye view of the pricing strategy and then some. My revenue model is subscription based. The competition, the people who are stealing sources of revenue from you. This chart is the best way to represent competitors. This shows how your product is making greater value to the customers than available alternatives. I used two scales to represent affordability, least expensive to most expensive, and availability, unavailable to always available. My only competitors are traditional methods like the teacher student model. Underlying magic. This emphasizes on what exactly is behind the scenes of you being much better than your competitors. Now, don't clog the slide, a significant few will do. Go to market and future plans. Time to look into the crystal ball. What can they expect after they've invested in your product? Use financial knowledge from week 7. Estimate growth. Price your product considering competitor analysis and investment, and figure out your break even period and how you're going to spend money. Financials is a fickle thing. You need to predict an expectable number of customers and be truthful in this part. A bit miserly too, if possible, and be very generous with expenses. Once you set it all in place, ask for a decent investment with a very lucrative equity. Considering my cost and expected revenue from subscriptions and a break even period of 2 years, I'm requesting for an investment of 5 lakhs in return for 5% equity. You might already know that equity goes up to 30% average. I am only offering 5% as the risk is low. The product has potential and I'm seeking low investment of 5 lakhs. The team. Investors who usually invest in ventures, they invest in your team. They want to see a promising team who can guarantee them a good number of digits of equity when payday comes. Thank you. Now repeat after me. I am not Fred or George Weasley. Harry Potter has not given me his Triwizard winnings. I cannot set up Weasley's Wizard Visas without an investor pitch deck. Have fun pitching.
Oh, thank you, Meghana. That was really an awesome investor pitch deck that you showed. It's really impressive. I'm really personally really impressed with what you have there. So as you can see, you got an idea of how an investor pitch deck looks like. Later on, Yuvathi is going to show you how a sales pitch deck looks like as well. But before that, we are going to invite Lavanya to prepare the ground for a sales pitch deck. That is, she's going to show you how to create and leverage a sales lead database so that using that you can talk to your leads and prospects and you can actually make a sales pitch to them. Okay, not to sell your product. So first I'll call upon Lavanya and then we will go to Yuvathi for the sales. Lavanya, over to you. Lavanya, are you there? Okay, so Lavanya just got dropped and she's going to just join back. She says she's just joining back. Okay, so I think she's going to take a few minutes, I guess. So she's okay with I think Yuvathi continuing. So let's do one thing. Let's go to the sales pitch deck now. And you have already seen how an investor pitch deck looks like, and next you are also going to basically how to pitch to a customer. Pitching to a customer and pitching to an investor are two different things, right? Because the audience is different, their expectations are different. Customer wants to buy your product. He wants to listen to those things that impresses him personally, so that they can derive some value and benefit from it. Whereas an investor is not trying to buy a product. An investor wants to know whether your business has a good promise, so that they can put money and they can make more money out of it at a later point in time. Okay. So you need to be clear about the distinction between investor pitch deck and a sales pitch deck. But now let's hear from Yuvathi what sales pitch deck is all about and how she has created a sales pitch deck to promote her digital product called S-Woman. In fact, S-Woman became was one of the top 10 digital products during the ATL Catalyst program, and Yuvathi, as I mentioned earlier, also got funding of 25,000 rupees to expand her business. But let her talk about it more. Over to you, Yuvathi.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuvathi. I'm a 10th class student from Canal Valley Public School, Haryana. So in today's session, I will be showing my sales pitch deck that I created during Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp last year. Okay, so let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Yuvathi.
Yes.
So, whenever we are introducing ourselves, we tell our name or our destination. So, like this, whenever we are introducing our product to customers, we introduce by its name, logo. So, yes, this slide is all about the introduction to my product, that is S-Women. So, the name of my product is S-Women itself, and the tagline is Stay Hygienic, Stay Smart, with a logo of flower with five colors. And under the logo, there's a link of my website, that is www.swomen.in. Now, it's important to for customers that they should know the summary of your product, or you can say the product one line. So this slide is all about the product one line of S Women, and that is S Women is a one-stop shop for every girl and women and offers knowledge with health services. And you also can see a screenshot of application and website as well on the screen. Now, a customer needs to know that what's the need of your product, or what are the problems that the product is solving. So this slide is all about the need and the problem that S Women is solving. So we all girls face a lot of problems during menstruation, and we are all are not able to find a suitable platform where we can have our all solutions. We do not know about the proper hygiene and do not know what to ignore during menstruation. So now I'm presenting the one and only solution, that is S Women. S Women is a platform where you can get familiar with menstruation, and also you can get all the required hygienic consumables to our e-commerce faculty. So you do not have to go anywhere else for your different problems, as S Women is there. Now, customer is always excited to see the product view. This slide is all about the screenshots of the application, and this is also important in the sales pitch deck, that you should add some application screenshots. This is screenshots of my application as women. This is the home page, menu page, and exercise during menstruation. Now, before buying the product, a customer thinks about the user journey, or how they will use the product. So this is the slide for user journey of S Women. And for application, firstly user will go to App Store, just download the application, then choose the service, and enjoy the service. It's very simple. Okay, let me give my example. I will go to Play Store, will just search about S Women, will download the application, then I will choose a service like, for example, I will choose BMI calculation. Then I will calculate my BMI, then I will find if I'm fit or not. Then I will enjoy that services by knowing that I'm fit or not, will take some diets. Now coming to e-commerce website, firstly we have to visit the website, then we will select our required product, then we will place order. Okay, let me give another example. If I want to buy a product from S Women, I will just Google it, or you can use an other browser. I will Google it that swomen.in. It will redirect to the website. Then I will select my required product. Then I will complete the checkout process and will place the order. This is the complete user journey of S Women platform for both application and website. Now, if a customer is ready to buy your product or is interested in your product, will think about what are the benefits of your product. This slide is all about the benefits of S Women. So I have told earlier that S Women is a one-stop shop for all girls and women. So this is the big benefit for the feminine world. So another benefits are that you can order consumables through application, and at the same place you will get more familiar with diseases and infections to maintain your hygiene. These are the benefits of S-Women. Now, as a customer, we always compare one product to another product. So yes, this slide is all about how does S-Women compare with competing products. So there are two brands. One is Menstrupedia, second one is Finga. So what Menstrupedia provides is it provides comic books to learn about menstruation. And Pinga is a mobile app which offers end-to-end solution to improve women emotional and sexual well-being. And as women provides both the services, it provides health services and it's also giving learning. So now you can compare both as women and other brands. Now we all know that as a customer, we are always excited to know what are the pricing of the products. This slide is all about the pricing, and it's very important to add a product pricing slide in your sales pitch deck because it's important and people are very excited to know about the pricing. So for us women, the application is free for all to get tips and suggestions. And for health services, there is a Prime membership of $99 only. And for health hygienic products, we have discounted rates on our website. Now, if a customer is ready to buy a product, then a question will arise that what are the platforms where they can access our product. So this slide is all about the S-Women app. That what are the platforms to access the S-Women application. So S-Women is already in Play Store, Amazon Store, and Galaxy Store. And for website, you can visit just search swomen.in. These are the platforms of S-Women application and website. Now I will tell you that which tool I use to create this sales pitch deck. So I used Canva for creating my sales pitch deck. So Canva is a tool where you can create a lot of creations like your cards, templates. You can also prepare some presentations. And I used only Canva because it provides a lot of animations, graphic representations, images, and videos, which helped me a lot to make my sales pitch deck interactive. This was a short overview of my sales pitch deck. I hope this will be useful for you. So with this, thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Yuvathi. That was really an awesome showcase of your sales pitch deck. So I hope our audience got an idea of how to pitch to a prospective customer and make a sale. So you can do this in a very simple way. Put together a slide deck, run through all the key things that a customer would like to know, and then you're there. I mean, if you make a good show of your with your pitch, there's more chance that your customer will buy your product or service. Okay, thank you, Yuvathi. And now let's go to Lavanya. Lavanya, earlier, as I mentioned, she was to showcase how to create and leverage a sales lead database, a very important tool for salespeople or for entrepreneurs to actually make a sales pitch. Before you actually make a sales pitch, you need to have the list of the people that you have. You have to make a list of people, and then you use that list of people. You contact them over phone or email or whatever, and then you make a pitch. So Lavanya will show you how a sales lead database looks like. Over to you, Lavanya.
I'm Lavanya Ansari, studying class 7th in Indus Valley Public School, Noida. I attended the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp last year and subsequently built a digital marketing business that is called as Markeji. Markeji helps my clients with digital marketing services when I wanted to sell my digital marketing services to my target audience. I found it very challenging as to whom I should target marketing efforts at. So I created a Safely database which helps me in being more efficient with my selling efforts. Before I show you the demo of my Safely database, let me back up a little bit and start my demo from a social media poster that I have created so that you understand things better. I hope everyone can see the screen.
Yes, Lavanya. We can
So can
see
you
your
see the screen?
yeah, we can see your social media poster.
As you all can see in the social media poster, it has a QR code. When people scan the QR code, they get to play marketing campaign games such as spin the wheel game, scratch card games, etc. When they play the game, I collect personal details about the people, which helps me create my Salesly database. The Salesly database will make my marketing and selling efforts more focused. Now let me share my screen again and show you the Salesly database I made. I hope you can see the screen.
Yes, Lavanya.
Safely database. I made a Safely database that companies use to store information about their past, current, and future customers. This information includes the contact information, addresses, phone numbers for contacting the customer for any queries or issues, emails for updating the customers about features, suggestions, special offers, and remarks for keeping the personal notes that how customers use their services. Sales lead database is used by businesses to target people with their sales and marketing efforts. This will help them cost down costs in marketing and selling and also ensures that the people they target are more likely to buy their products and services. By keeping notes about their customers in a sales lead database, salespeople can make a more personal meeting with a client, which helps them make the sale. A salesperson's schedule is often hectic. A Salesly database allows one to stay organized as most of them have allow you to schedule meetings and keep track of where you should be and at what time. Being able to keep track being able to keep track of customers allows a company to reach out to their customers when needed and effectively sell their product. A Salesly database allows salespeople to assess the information they need to make the sale, no matter where they are in the world. It helps with decision making, understanding your customers better, and improving future performance within your organization to give stakeholders across the company easy access to important information about prospects and customers. This allows for salesperson to bring up notes on the person they are contacting so that they're completely up to date before each and every point of contact. Regular sales data analysis provides an understanding of the products that your customers are buying and helps you dissect why they are behaving in a certain way. You can also find patterns in your lead conversions and drop offs. All of these aspects enable you to optimize your sales process. The sales lead database will lead to better sales forecasting accuracy. and it also improves the performance of the sales team. It is used by my businesses for keeping track of the customers who used my services and the number of my products used by my customers and the products sold by my employees. I use Microsoft Excel for creating my sales lead database sheet. You can even make it in Google Sheets too. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Lavanya. That was really awesome. So what Lavanya showed all of you today is a very simple Excel spreadsheet in which she has captured all the details that she has gathered about uh, prospective customers, sales leads, and things like that. If you were to organize yourself like this, like how Lavanya showed today, your sales process will become very easy. And then you know whom exactly to pitch, whom you would not want to pitch, because you need to optimize your selling time, right? You don't want to go and pitching to anybody and everybody. It's going to waste your time. So if you want to pitch better, pitch efficiently, first create a sales lead database and then go and pitch to those people who are more likely to buy your product or services. Okay, thank you, Lavanya. That was really awesome. Now, I think we are almost closing, running out of time, but so I'm going to just ask our three Tinkerpreneurs one or two questions um, so that they can share some of their experiences in the process of creating their pitch decks or their sales lead database and things like that. Let me start with Lavanya. Lavanya, sorry, let me start with Meghana first. Um, Meghana, can you tell us what was the key motivation for you to come up with an investor pitch deck? Why did you create this in the first place? And how did it help you?
I mean, as I said during the pitch deck introduction, I am not Fred or George Weasley. Harry Potter has not given me his Triwizard winnings, and I cannot set up Weasley's Wizard Wheezes without an investor pitch deck. On a serious note, though, for beginners like us, with our head in the clouds, an investor pitch deck helps to see the potential of our idea, keeping our feet firmly planted on the ground.
Definitely, Meghana. That's very well said. Yes, at the same time, while it makes sense for you to ensure that you can see the potential of your idea, at the same time, even investors see the potential of your idea, your business, your products and services, and then it helps them to make a decision on whether to invest or not in your business. That's fantastic. Okay, Lavanya, I will ask you the next question. Why did you have to put together a sales lead database? Can you not manage without it?
I Yes, sir. In the process of creating the sales lead database, I learned how the sales lead database works and how to keep notes in the sales lead database sheet. You can also use prospective customers to get feedback on our products and then improvise the products or services as per customers' requirements. Yes, we can't manage our business without the sales lead database.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely. A sales lead database is really a good tool. You can optimize your time, as Lavanya learned many things in its usage. Wonderful, Lavanya. And what about you, Yuvathi? Why did you have to create a sales pitch deck? Could you not just have orally spoken to people, to audience, your target audience, or your sales leads or prospects, and could you not have made a sale?
Yes, I was not able to sell my products without sales pitch deck because sales pitch deck answers all the questions and queries related to product which a customer wants to know. Like customer are always excited to know about the benefits, pricing, and product view, or how and where they can access the product. And these points are already covered in the sales pitch deck, so it's make easy for customers to understand the product.
Excellent. So it helps you structure, I guess, and to articulate your value and benefit, especially when you have a new product or a new service that people don't understand. It makes all the more sense to create a pitch deck and then run through the pitch deck with your prospective customers, right? Okay, makes sense. So before we go away, one last, can you share one tip or suggestion to our audience? Uh, just 20 seconds each. Okay, so let's start with Meghana. One tip or suggestion that you would like to share our audience in creating an investor pitch deck.
Well, keep it simple, Siddhi. The end goal is to show the investors the potential of our product and how we're going to make them rich. So each slide should convince the investors a little more to give away their money to us.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what about you, Lavanya? Any tips and suggestions for our audience?
The tips and suggestions for the audience are: the data in the sales lead database should be authentic, the sales lead database should be accurate and correct.
Excellent. Yeah, that really makes sense. And how about you, Yuvathi?
Suggestion for all is that take first step to create your creation and share it with your mentors to take feedbacks. Work on those feedbacks and inputs. Another suggestion regarding sales pitch deck is firstly go through the YouTube sessions and complete the mentoring session. After that, select an attractive pre-designed template that will save your time and then start making your pitch deck. Keep in mind that your successful pitch deck is the only reason of your product sale. But at the end of the day, product also matters.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yuvathi. And thank you, in fact, all of you, Meghana, Lavanya, and Yuvathi, for taking time out today to share your pitch decks, your sales lead database, and for sharing your experiences, tips, and suggestions. I hope it has really benefited our audience. With that, we have come to the end of today's session. In fact, we have come to the end of all our, we in fact had scheduled 7 handhold me sessions. And I think this is our last handhold me session. So we are going to bid goodbye to all our audience today. And so I hope all of you have enjoyed our sessions during these last few weeks. And about 10 of our tinkerpreneurs came on these sessions. Let me just take a moment to name them: Tanvi Nazre, Satrika Nemani, Varshini, Meghana, Sadia, Yuvathi, Kavana, Shima, Lavanya, and Paulasya. So these are all tinkerpreneurs from different parts of the country who have participated in the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp last year, and they have gained a lot of experience. And thanks to ATL Innovation Mission, thanks to Shubham, and thanks to AM Leadership, uh, these students got a fantastic opportunity this year to share their experiences, to showcase their demos, and I'm really thankful to ATL Innovation Mission for this great opportunity. And thank you, Shubham, for being patiently be there and supporting us all through all this handhold me sessions. We are very thankful to your support and all the help that you have extended us in running these sessions over the last 7 weeks. Thank you again, and over to you, Shubham.
Thank you so much, sir. I guess the community is only becoming bigger and better now. And yeah, and this entrepreneur will serve as a great thing for the kids, and it will go long. Definitely, it will go long with so much of the improvements and feedback. And the only constant thing here is just the kids stay improving. We need to improve, and everything is like working together for achieving a similar objective.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's how it works, and that's how in the future it should be. So first of all, thank you, Kiran sir, for having all these sessions all along. And I pretty much now aware why kids love you so much, and they just look after sort after your session. Ki, okay, when is this session happening? We need to listen out to Kiran sir. And thank you, Yuvathi, Lavanya, and Meghna for joining this, and to all 7 others who have made this a very entertaining and enriching session. And yes, the last session for the Tinkerpreneur is yet to be here, and we are vouching for some of the great personalities from India to join us. We
Wow.
are yet to get the conversation from some of the offices of some great philanthropists of India. So I guess the secret would be revealed very soon. Uh, yes,
The surprise.
and yeah, it's a surprise. Still, it's not like we have formed up a speaker. It's like we are reaching out to three to four of them, and yet to be confirmed on one speaker.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
and
look
with
forward to
that,
it.
I hope all the students. So things are like okay in the next 10 to 15 days. We would be wrapping up with the submissions part as well. So just be on your toes. Just be notified about all the assignments, deadlines, all the improvements, all the things which your mentors need to be supported of. And also, I would request mentors if there would be anything required from our side to do in the next 15 odd days, we would be happy to accommodate that as well. Yeah, and yes, as promised, ISB would be there for sure for again the top 100 of the Tinkerpreneurs. But yes, we have also partnered with two more organizations to take 50-50 of another set of students.
Wow.
So for this year, it might be not 100, might be 200 who would be going on for further mentoring
Oh, that's
with,
awesome.
with different partners. Yeah. So, so this is all about the Tinkerpreneur students. It's like a platform where you would be learning the skills, the products, the entrepreneurship skills for free and with the best of the industry experts. So do leverage that and do feel free to accommodate all the things, all the skills you want to pursue with and going ahead with the journey. It's not like okay, if this year you are participating, it's the last stage of whatever the entrepreneurship or the dream product you are dreaming for. The Tinkerpreneur will go on. Your journey should go on as well.
Yeah.
So this is the message for all. Thank you so much, sir, and the students for these handhold me sessions over the period of 7 weeks. And yes, do it for the last session. It would be definitely a great one.
Thank you, Shivam. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. This is the end for this YT. Bye bye.